Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. This will be taken in at the 1. Pushes him over. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Now Wilson on 2nd down. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Let's go get it right here. Come on. Right, 380. Check. Look, guys, 4 down.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Sanders has it over the middle. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. Now Wilson out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at the 20. Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
On first down, gone. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, gone. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Frank Clark in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. So Goff, he'll try to refocus after the sack. The Rams now set up with a tough one, a 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Goff. Looking to snap for Woods, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. Looking for Woods that time.
Well, it's 3rd down. You're in a tight game in the loudest stadium in the NFL, and it's enough to rattle even the most seasoned of quarterbacks. And here, it looks like he's not quite on the same page as his receiver. This will wind up a turnover.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
So good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. On the counter, Gurley. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go, fellas. Here we go.
On 1st down, it's gone. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Right. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. From the gun, here's Goff. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Frank Clark in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, Goff. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. It's the first catch of the game for Kupp, and he's got a 1st down.
Help me out, partner. Did they use up all their juice on 2nd down when they got the sack? Because on 3rd down, 0 pressure all the time in the world, and he picks up the 1st down with that throw.
Goff now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Goff now to throw. Going up top for Kupp. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Back to the ground game here, Gurley. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Tiger, tiger.
Throwing on 3rd, Goff. He rifles one that's intercepted. Darren Lee picks it. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now they'll run it on the toss. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down, Wilson. Fighting his safety valve here. That's complete. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll be a loss of a yard, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Let's go get another one. Let's go get another one. Come on. Let's go, 14. Nice. 380. 380.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. 8 yards there and a 1st down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Credit the tackle to John Franklin Myers.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. 19. 95, 95. I got 87, I got 87. Right, 15. Right.
They go play action now. Wilson. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Tempo, tempo. Go. 12.
Now Wilson on 1st down. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Dante Fowler in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They'll run it now out of the gun. About 3 yards there to the 27.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Spot that, spot that. 12.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a 1st down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
And this is off the left upright, and it caroms in. Not the most convincing kick you'll see, but he got it to go. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. This is taken at his 4. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Jaron Reed in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Gone. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Cup. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
From the 50, it's gone. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now gone. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync.
And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. That goes for a gain of 31. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Goff on 1st down. Escape, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Bobby Wagner able to drop him for a loss of 4. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continue.
And the pressure gets to him again. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So Goff, he'll try to refocus after the sack. The Rams now set up with a tough one, a 3rd and long. Here's Goff. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So now the Rams send out the field goal team here. And this one a 41-yard attempt. And he missed it. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Nine seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, and he'll just get rid of this one deep and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And the Rams getting set to go now. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Goff now looks to throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Justin Houston in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's Goff. He's going to let this one go deep. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The Rams on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19. Here's Goff. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Justin Houston. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Johnny Hecker now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Returnable for Lockett. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Try to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Play action. Now Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Play action. It's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Flushed out right. He hits Baldwin right side. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Keep working, baby. Keep working, fellas. We got three. Inside. Well.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson, and able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They'll get 4 on second down, but it leaves them with third and still 9 to go.
In and out. Come on, tempo. Hey, 0.
Here's Wilson to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They've done a good job on these receivers, pretty much held them in check, and they're a little too close for comfort.
And you're always looking for a play to get you going, right? You're looking for someone to make one. But maybe this penalty, this pass interference call, that can help shake them loose.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
He'll get it up the middle. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Seahawks on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Here's Wilson. And it'll be intercepted. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Time to establish the run game here. Gurley. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
To throw on 2nd down is gone. His throw incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
2 for 1. 5. 12.
Goff on 3rd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And a gain there of 11 yards.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this is what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
They go play action here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
14.
From the gun, here's Goff. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Tedrick Thompson picks it. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Woods, the intended receiver.
Well, you were backed up into a 2nd and long, but instead of trying to get the yardage back in chunks, he's trying to get it all back at once. And this defense was just lying in wait, and they're there to pick this one off.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get this down to about the 31-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And they'll go on the ground. And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Flush to his right. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. The offense going to stay on the field as they will line up and go for 2.
Go, 14. Gotta go.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Fights him off. this one's caught. And their fourth quarter lead grows by a couple more. And the formula there on the two-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Following the penalty, it's Gurley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Again they run with Gurley. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Right side complete. That's Woods. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. On first down, it's gone. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And he gets it down to the 32. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
76, tell him. 76.
A shotgun snap for Goff. Eluding the pressure right. And he slides to avoid the hit. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he's trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
On 1st and 10, Goff looking for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. Trying to get it to Woods. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
36. 18.
On third down, Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Dante Fowler in on the stop.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down, 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.